All right. Good morning, good afternoon. Whenever you're watching this, maybe you're watching the recording, or if you're seeing it live this morning, congratulations for being up on this cold, rainy Ohio day, which is going to be 70 something tomorrow. It's going to be crazy. So anyways, I wanted to say good morning to you on this. And I wanted to say, first of all, if you're going to watch this and you're now on our real estate team or a part of it, you will get something out of it. But before I talk to everyone, I want to talk to our team of amazing agents. First of all of you that went to EXPCon, congratulations. Great job. I hope you guys much out of it as I did. We're going to be talking about that stuff here. I got my notes with me when we're going through that. But secondly, I want to say congratulations for an amazing, amazing September. The numbers are finally in. They closed out the month. 88 closings in September. Incredible job. It was one of the biggest months personally Stacey and I have ever had from everything that EXP does for us in alternative sources of income, not just in closings. So I hope you had an amazing month. Congratulations on a great month. It was, since we started this EXP journey, it was our 5th highest volume since we started it. And I'll be naming out people later on a separate video congratulating each one of you individually. So awesome job on that. So let's talk about EXPCon. I want to do today what we call ahas. Ahas are this. What did I get when I was there? And I know you got something too, probably. What did I get from it that's an aha? When it pops into your head like, aha, oh my gosh, that unlocked that for me. And so they had a big rocket was the theme of the whole thing, right? We're launching ourselves into it. And so I want to talk to that today about what we got. If you're not in real estate, you're still going to get some stuff out of this, but not as much as real estate people. So first thing one of the first things I got out of this thing was, we have to keep it simple. We as human beings always try to overcomplicate everything. We always try to overcomplicate stuff. And so one of our leaders was up in front. Her name was Julie, and she said this: simplify real estate. Simplify it to this. What we do is this. We talk to people about real estate. That's it. Now, when you first hear that, your brain kind of says, well, duh. But think about how often we get caught up in the minutia, all the little stuff, right? I did a video on YouTube a long time ago, 187 things that real estate agents do that the public doesn't know about, that your clients don't know about, right? But what is it that we do that is a moneymaker? And that's this. We talk to people about real estate. The more people you talk to about real estate, the more success you're going to have. You need to always be having a conversation about real estate. And the more you talk to them, the faster you talk to them. Now, the fastest way to talk to people about real estate is on social media. Social media. And we're going to talk a little bit here in a little bit about why you may or may not be talking enough on social media. It was something I got as an aha, but that's it. We talked to people about real estate. That's simple. That was great. Had another guy get up there and talked about, it's going to be very important as this market correction happens, as this balancing occurs, where it's a normal market where buyers and sellers have equal amounts of power. Power sounds like a struggle between a couple or something. No, the amount of negotiating power is going to be more. It's way more on a level playing field. Although we just did offer yesterday, had 18 offers on a house. But if that part's going away, it's going to be a little more where sellers are getting their list price and buyers are going to be paying, not going to have to be paying above list price. It's going to be market value again, which is going to be great instead of a bidding war. That bidding war wasn't good for anyone. And this is going to be much better. By the way, if you like the EXP shirt, peep the shirt. This is something I got from EXPCon. Gypsy Smolsky and her husband, Danny, brought some of those. And we'll have a link for that where you can order those if you want. They're really good, soft, nice. They fit well. And I like the bling on it. Anyways, sorry about the commercial there in the middle, but they're awesome. So you want to get those. So here's one of the systems you have to have in place for yourself as this market corrects and bounces out. And that's this. This gentleman talked about how Elrod, you guys may have heard me talking about that before, but talking about savers, S-A-V-E-R-S. Every morning, you need to have some silence working on you. You had to have A, affirmations, V, visualizations, E, exercise, R, reading, and S, scribing. So a whole other video we can do. I've done it before, but you want to get into that book, The Miracle Morning for Real Estate Agents. You better have a system and a plan for upgrading this right here. In between your ears, you better have something to upgrade and working on it daily as this market corrects, because you're going to have to. It's been order taken, baby, for the last 10 years. That's what real estate's been. It's about to get real for agents, and you don't have to be, this is the word they use from the stage, real estate roadkill, because there's going to be a bunch of agents that are going to get smashed by this correction. And it doesn't have to be any of us. Okay. In fact, we were talking about abundance. It was a big thing they talked about from the stage. The biggest room you can ever be in, the biggest room in the world, is the room for improvement. How about that? How about that? And we'll talk about some other mental stuff like that, but that was a great saying that they had. And they said, write down these letters, NMWWIT, 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 no matter what, whatever it takes, no matter what, whatever it takes. That's what you're going to do to win when this market shifts, and you will win. It doesn't matter if you're day one out of real estate. It doesn't matter if you've held off on doing real estate and now you're back in and you're getting into it again, or you just never got started. You don't have to be real estate roadkill, no matter what, whatever it takes, and you get in there and do it. The guy also quoted a lot of people from stage, names that we've heard of, Zig Ziglar, if you haven't followed him. Jordan Peterson says to become dangerous. Dangerous, you need to be a dangerous person. You need to get so good at your personal upgrade of what's in here that you're a dangerous person, because you vibrate at a higher level and people are going to be drawn to you. I loved it. That was awesome. One of the big things that EXP has been getting into, and I love, and Stacy and I are 100% on board, is upgrading your health. Being healthy, it doesn't matter how much money you make. In fact, it's a crime if you go out and make all this money, if it's a detriment to your health, because without your health, you have nothing, nothing. And so one of the things they introduced is a partnership with EXP. You know, EXP, we have different divisions of the company. We have a tech part of the company, right, where we're doing the metaverse bigger and badder than anybody out there. We're a real estate company who's a tech company, right? We also have Success. EXP has bought Success Magazine and everything that goes along with that, the coaching and things like that. And one of the things we're getting into is a thing called Success Health. Glenn wants our agents to be the healthiest agents in the world. Why? Because we're generating residual income, revenue share, which is going to be able to give all of us a chance at retirement. I'm using retirement as a quote because retirement is different for everybody, but basically for us, it's this. We sell houses because we want to, not because we have to. So Stacy and I, that's what retirement is. Being able to do what you want. By the way, last month's retirement check was amazing. Holy cow. I'm not allowed to say the number, but let's just say it was a big, big 5 figures. Okay. Hopefully compliance doesn't call me. I didn't use the numbers and I didn't show it. So don't yell at me. All right. So one of the things we partner with, back to EXP Success Health, that they're bringing on for the agents, is a thing called Viome, Viome. Go to our workplace page if you want to see it. If you're people, I'll put the link down below if you're somebody who's not in EXP, but in EXP, go to workplace, check it out. Stacey and I are 100% on board. We're doing it. Basically, they monitor your gut health, your DNA, your blood samples, and they bring it all together and they find out what it is in particular your body is missing. For example, and I'm not going to get into it because it's a whole friggin' thing they did. We've always heard blueberries are a superfood, right? You ever heard that? Like blueberries. You should be eating cupfuls of blueberries, right? Or blue raspberries, whatever they're called. Well, do you know for some people they're deadly? Like some people, if they listen to that broad advice, it would kill them, eating the amount of blueberries that they said. That's one example. How about avocados? We've heard avocados are incredible. They are incredible for about 3/4 of the population. There's 25% of the population they are terrible for. And on and on and on and on and on and on. All the different superfoods, broccoli, kale. Please, God, let my test come back that those are bad for me. Please, I'm hoping, but we'll see what happens on that. That I thought was amazing. One of the most amazing parts about the guy that we partnered with is his mindset. Man, this guy, Javeen Naam, I'm going to get it wrong. I wrote it down later. I'm coming up to it here in my notes. Naveen Jain, sorry. I'm sorry I messed up your name, sir. Naveen Jain, like he's going to see this. But Naveen Jain, and he said this: find something you are willing to die for and then live for that. Woo, I thought that was awesome. I wrote that down. Find something you're willing to die for and then live for that. And all of us have something different, and no one else gets to determine what that is for you. You get to determine what that is for you. Something you're willing to die for and then live for that. And life is incredibly better like that. So Viome.com/success health. There it is. I'll write it down on here. Next thing I was reminded of again, and Gypsy will tell you this, she was in on this call with me yesterday, is when you meet an agent or you meet a client, tell me about yourself. T-M-A-Y. Tell me about yourself. People are dying for recognition. They're dying to be heard. And we as agents like to talk. Right here, raising a hand, like to talk. Get me to talk's not the problem. Get me to shut the hell up. Tell me about yourself and then listen. They will tell you. Your clients will tell you. Your realtors that you're attracting to EXP will tell you how to approach them. They'll tell you the most important thing in their life. And then you adjust based on that to see if what you have to offer works for what they're trying to accomplish. We're not one size fits all, right? Just like you're not a one size fits all realtor. There's some clients you shouldn't take. Maybe you don't mix together well. Maybe you're unable to help them. Maybe you need to bring in a partner on it and partner up on it if it's something you've never done before, right? Because your fiduciary duty is to do what's best for them, right? You need to co-list a property, all kinds of stuff like that. All right, I want to go down the rabbit hole with that, but it's incredible. You should become a professional interviewer. You should just get very good at interviewing people, hearing what they're saying, questioning for clarification to make sure you've got it, and then using that, and that's it. Has nothing to do with your presenting skills. Just like people think we sell houses. Do we really sell houses? No, right? We do a needs analysis on people and then get them to some houses that fit those needs, and then the house sells themselves. That's the exact same thing if you decide you're going to be doing recruiting. You don't have to pitch EXP. It's already there. It's already the best. You just have to find out if they're the right fit, if they're the right client, right? Does it fit their needs? And find that out by asking questions. All right, I'm gonna keep moving on because I'm running out of time. Way too long already. Okay, live furiously. I love that theme on the talk. It was live furiously. I'm gonna rip through these right here. These are great. This is an entire another video I will do another day, but it means living furiously means this: you have to guard your mind, and that whatever you put into your brain will come out. Negative news cycle can never determine your attitude or where you're going to go. Doesn't matter what it says in the news. You don't have to play along, right? There's a recession everywhere else. Does not mean you have to experience one. I love that. Living furiously means that market factors will never dictate your income, ever. If you're living furiously and you're going after it and you're just going out and get it, and you're like, look, I say the status quo, boo on that. And I know all of you are like that are on here, that are entrepreneurs, because you're like, I ain't doing a 9 to 5, giving somebody 40 hours a week for 40 years to retire on 40% of the pay I couldn't live on in the first place. Nope, I ain't doing that. I'm doing something different. Congratulations to you for being on here. Living furiously also means, this was a big one for me, that past failures don't determine your future success or happiness. Let me say that one again, because it hit me. So I do these videos for myself. Living furiously means that past failures don't determine your future success or happiness. And that's in everything. That's literally every day. You can start over, hit the reset and say, all right, yesterday I screwed up that diet. I was not supposed to eat that triple chocolate cake. And you forgive yourself and you move over, because it does move on, because it does not mean you're going to fail today. I love that. You can start over and go with that. And that was great. But live furiously. Oh, I thought that was awesome. Then you talked about brand consistency. We had somebody else talking about brand consistency. It was the whole thing about making your brand consistent. You'll have to check these out. By the way, they recorded this whole thing. Going to the event, let me stop there real quick. Going to the event is the number one thing, because when you're immersed in the event, it does something to you. It changes you. In fact, I've got a quote here coming up that's going to talk about that, so I won't get into that right this second. But for those of you who are serious, like I couldn't go because of money, kids, whatever it is, sick, right? Somebody died. right? All this stuff that happens to all of us. If you're serious about getting the information, you know they live stream the event. You can watch the event live stream. You're not there, but I would say getting 20% of something is better than getting 0% of it, right? Anyways, I just want to put that out there. People that are like, well, I couldn't go because of blah, but you say you want the information, they live stream it. You can get it from there. Now, a lot of it's recorded too, by the way, just so you know. If you want to go dig for it, you can find it. Workplace, it's on the feed, so you can go there. Okay. What should you be talking about on social media? You should be talking about a problem, why people should care about that problem, and then you should be solving that problem, right? What's the problem? Interest rates are going up. Why is it going to affect them? Because they can buy less house, and you should solve that problem. We have some products that can fix that. Okay, that type of content on social media is attractive to people. They're going to follow you if you do that and you impact that. Okay. The reason I wrote this down. The reason you don't use free social media enough to talk to them. Remember, our job as real estate agents, talk to people about real estate, right? That's it. It makes it very simple. The more people you talk to, more success you can have. The number one way you can talk to the most people is through social media, right? But the reason you won't post anything on social media is because you're afraid of what people are going to say. Anything else than that, you're lying to yourself. And maybe to me, if I talk to you about it, right? When was the last time you put a post about real estate on your social media? Okay. Has it been longer than an hour ago? Then it's time. That's the idea. That's how often you should be posting, because it's free. Because why? Because where do you go in someone's news feed? Do you think you're even there 5 minutes later? Nope. But if you get just one person, it makes a huge economic impact to your family. You got to be talking to your social media. You got to be talking to them more, and don't be worried about what people are going to say. Why is that we're like that? Coming up to it maybe here in just a little bit. Also, EXP always gives great announcements. EXP Luxury was launched. Are you kidding me? Those are for your $1 million or more listings and buyers, right? They're going to be able to do a lot on there. You can be part of EXP Luxury if you want to be. Ohio doesn't have, it's not as big an impact here in Ohio. We don't have as many of those. They're all 7 figures or greater houses. But for other parts of the country, it's big. EXP Luxury launched, and it's awesome. It was awesome. Okay. They also talked about new enhancements to KV Core. There's some mind-blowing stuff coming for KV Core. Look, become a student of KV Core. I saw Stacy Lambright, and this is going to shock all of you, yesterday spent 4 hours on classes getting caught up on KV Core. She was so motivated on all the stuff that they're bringing. But this 360 home app, he listed like 5 things he flashed up there on the screen and took it down and said, coming soon. And by the way, when Glenn says coming soon, he means like in the next quarter or something. He doesn't say stuff that's 2 and 3 years out. I remember the first time I went to EXPCon, he talked about healthcare. We're going to have EXP healthcare for agents. Everybody's going nuts. And literally we had it 90 days later. Like, he moves on stuff when he's bringing it in. Okay. Also, Sphere Rocket, getting a virtual assistant. For those of you who are just too busy with all the minutia and you're not concentrating on the number one thing. What's the number one thing? Talk to people about real estate, right? If you're not doing that because you're too busy doing the 187 other things, you might want to look at a virtual assistant. Virtual assistants who are trained, it's called Sphere Rocket. I know I say sphere weird, but that's how it is. Sphere like a ball, rocket. Look them up in Workplace. But they are trained virtual assistants, trained in the EXP systems and real estate trained. Okay, so these aren't just you're going out trying to hire some virtual assistant. These are vetted by the company. They know our systems. They know how to do Workplace. They know how to do all the stuff, SkySlope, everything like that. Virtual assistants can take a lot off your plate so you can talk to more people about real estate. That's going to be the number one thing. Okay, I'm off of that. Next, they always have a keynote speaker. Keynote speaker, this guy right here, his name is Nick Santos. And Nick was born with no legs and only one arm, but sort of. You can call it an arm, but it was born disabled, right? His parents found out in the womb that he had a 20% chance of living. That was it, that he would live. There's very few people that are born with this affliction. And his parents didn't abort him; they kept him, and here he is, changing millions and millions of lives, speaking on these gigantic stages. He's been all over TV and stuff like that. He's inspired the world. And you see this guy, for lack of a better word, dragging himself around stage on one arm that has one finger. And as he says, be careful, it's the middle finger. It's the only finger he has. He's really funny, but amazing, inspiring stuff. I've got just a little bit here I'm going to go through with you because it's already way too long, but you got to look him up. I'll give you his website here in a second. He did an exercise that affected every single person in the room. And I'll tell you about, I'll get to it here in a second, but look at this. So one of the things he said, and this is something I harp on all the time, if you just sit passively when someone else is talking, you're going to get 0 to 10% is all you're going to get out of it, what they say. If you just sit there and just, you're not going to get anything out of it. If you take notes, physically write down notes, you'll retain 40 to 50%. And if you get up and jump around, do physical activity, and you participate back when the speaker says, hey, say to me, I, and you repeat back, I, and give me a yes if you agree with that, and you yell back, yes, if you actively participate, kind of like being in church, right? You'll retain more than 50% because you're actively participating. And that's why they ask questions and want you to respond. And if you're a speaker, you should be asking questions, right? Go ahead, raise your arm, give me a hell yeah if you get what I'm saying. That kind of stuff. Hopefully you did it. Hell yeah. Gypsy, say hell yeah. Let me see. I'm looking up there. That's you. Ah, she did. All right. Good, good. All right. The law of exposure says this. Once I'm exposed to something, I can never go back. This is the reason the events are so important. Because once you're exposed to something, you're a changed person. You're changed. In fact, we have a saying in EXP. Once you see it, you can't unsee it. So your job is not to convince somebody to come to EXP. Your job is just to convince them to take a look. Do you want some information? Because once they see it, they can't unsee it. Once you're exposed to something, you can never go back. Look, I'm a changed person from going to the event, and those of you who went to are changed also. You'll never go back to being who you were before because of what you were exposed to. And I thought that was amazing. He also talked about the law of energy. Energy cannot be created nor destroyed. It can only be transformed. Pretty good, right? So you can either be a positive person or you can be a negative person. You don't get to be both. It's the same amount of energy. Same amount of energy to hate as it is to love, right? It's the same emotion, same energy. It's just on opposite ends of the spectrum. I thought that was great, okay? High energy says you got to be high energy. If you're just somebody who's just, oh yeah, life's just going along. I'm going down the river. How are you today? Yeah, I'm surviving. If you're that kind of person, no one is ever going to be drawn to you. People are drawn to high energy. Now, it is true. You can be too high energy and you can chase some people away. In fact, if you're too high energy and you're too crazy, you will chase away 1 out of 10 people. You will. They'll be gone. But if you're low energy, you'll chase away 9 out of 10. So take your choice. There you go. High energy. You got to be high energy. What I focus on, I get more of. Whatever you focus on, that's what you're going to get more of. So think about that. It's all about, and we've heard this many times, right? It's all about attitude, but he really gets into it. You need to upgrade your identity. So many of us, boy, this one hit me hard. It's called imposter syndrome. Imposter syndrome. Imposter syndrome is your brain telling you, you can't be like them. You can't do that. What makes you think you could be in shape? What makes you think you could have 1,000 people when you're in your revenue share group? What makes you think you could do 100 million in sales? What makes you think that? You could never do that, right? Anybody else got that brain inside that says that? It's called your imposter syndrome. Just so you know, the way you help get rid of that is you have to upgrade your identity, and you have to get in the room with people who are better than you. Get in the room with people who are better than you. This hit Stacy and I. In fact, we registered to go to Maui for the top 400 agents in the company. Now we are going to be the tiny, tiny, tiny fish in that pond when we get there. In fact, out of all 400, we might be the 400th out of 87,000 agents that are in there. But you know what? Screw it. We're going because we belong where those guys are. People that have 5, 6, 7,000 people in their revenue share group, we belong there. And we're going to get there. But we got to get in the room to upgrade our identity to be there. And we booked it. Stacey got on the thing and booked our trip to Maui in January to go there and be in a room with 400 agents with Glenn Sandberg and all the top people about how to take EXP to the next level from 87,000 agents to 500,000. And we want 100,000 of those under us. So there we go. You're going to train your brain by asking the right questions. Wow. We ask our brain the wrong question all the time, and we get wrong answers because the brain's just a computer, right? And so better questions are this: when something happens, the meaning we try to attach to something, we say this: who am I going to become because I'm going through this? You got something that's just a big pile of, it's a shit sandwich, right? And you're like, wow, this sucks. But you should ask yourself, who am I going to become because I'm going through this? Look, I'm going through it right now. Yep, it sucks. It does suck. But who am I going to become because I'm going through it? That's a great question, because then you're looking at it as an opportunity. Who am I going to become out of this? I thought that was great. The other question is this: what's the gift? What's the gift? Something horrible happens. He talked about his brother dying. This is a guy with no legs and one arm, barely. His brother died of an overdose. What was the gift? He walked us through his brain process and what he came up with, what the gift was. It was heartbreaking when he did it. But what's the gift? And then, what is the learning I get from this? Okay, so what is the gift? And then what's the learning? What's the learning? What can I learn so that I can help others with it? Wow, those strong, powerful questions. Powerful questions. Again, he did a whole session on this, so I'm blowing through this, right? Well, the biggest brain fallacy you'll ever have in your brain is this: I already know this. I already know this. I've already heard this before. That is the biggest brain fallacy you can ever have. I already know this. A closed mind is the most expensive thing you can have in life. And I thought that was great. I already know this because, look, you've been doing real estate for 25 years like this. Sometimes you think, I already know this. I've already heard this, right? I don't need to hear this again. That's a big problem. When you get to that point, in fact, John Maxwell says, when the leader stops learning, the leader should stop leading. So there we go. There's chaos coming. Look, there's going to be some chaos, just so you know that. You just need to ask yourself the right questions as it comes down the line and beyond that. To change, a part of you must die. I remember writing that down. I was like, wow, why don't people like change? Because a piece of you has to die to change. Whatever that was about you that you're going to change, it has to die. And your brain doesn't like it. Okay? Your brain wants what's known, comfortable, and certain. I already know this. I'm comfortable with this, and I'm certain with it. That's uncertain. I don't want to do it. And your brain will stop you. Crazy. Okay. You got to override. You got to have override moments. He had us go through an exercise, everything. I'm in this huge arena, right, with all these thousands of people. And I'm in there. All of a sudden, I feel like it's raining when I'm in there. Like it's rain, like water hitting my hand. And I realize Stacey's crying, and so am I, and so is everybody else around us as he walks us through this exercise. It was amazing. You'd have to go to it to understand it and things like that. So just so you know, with all the chaos coming, there's 3 things you can control, right? There's going to be a lot of chaos happening. Number 1, your focus. Number 2, your content consumption. And number 3, the people that you're around. Those 3 things you can control. Nothing else with what's going to be happening you can control, but you can control those 3 things. And our focus is this: talk to people about real estate. There it is. That's what we need to be focusing on. Your time and energy are your most valuable assets, so don't waste it on low-level people. Woo, boy, everybody applauded to that one. Time and energy are your most valuable assets, so don't waste them on low-level people. Whew. Okay, some questions, 3 questions. Do I focus on the past, present, or future? There's 3 parts of your brain: the thinking brain, the doing brain, and the being brain. Are you being, are you present right now? I'm almost done. Got to get reps until it becomes unconscious. You've got to get reps in whatever it is you're doing until it becomes unconscious. They say it takes 10,000 reps until you're a master at something. Bruce Lee said this: I don't fear the man that knows 10,000 punches. I fear the man who has practiced one punch 10,000 times. That's what he fears. And so you got to realize, what skill do I need reps on? You're going on that. There was emotional integrity. Stop trying to soothe your emotions. Oh boy, in the United States, we do that, right? Try to use a mind-altering substance or something like that to soothe the emotion we're feeling. We should be leaning into the emotion and then asking ourselves the right questions. Oof, I thought that was good. We need to learn how to have compassion for our parents. Compassion for our parents who were just doing the best they could with what they had at that time. And we should be grateful for them. Grateful they gave us a gift of life and they did the best they could, as much as they screwed us all up, right? We all had that parental screw up that screwed us up, and we've probably screwed up our kids somehow. We need to have compassion for our parents and just know, hey, we're just trying to figure shit out, just trying to get by. And when we learn to have compassion and forgiveness for them, it'll bring peace inside. Like, look, I'm alive. They did their job. I'm here, right? And stop going to that. Boy, people were bawling over that. I mean, we're just tears streaming down their face. So I'll wrap up with this. He talked about this. How often do you experience anger, insecurity, fear, uncertainty? You feel inadequate. You feel like an imposter. How often do you experience sadness? Any of those types of things like that? You have two different emotional states. You're either in a beautiful state or you're in a suffering state, okay? Pain is inevitable, but suffering is optional. You don't have to suffer. You don't have to. You're going to feel pain. All of us are going to feel pain, but you don't have to suffer. It was big. It was really big, and it was great. And it was, who have I become because of my negative emotions? Who have I become? How do people view me? Am I the angry person? I'm talking about getting angry in traffic. Stacey's getting pointed at me all the time because I cannot stand being in traffic. I lose my shit, and it's not good. And then because of my negative emotions, who I've become, who have I hurt because of my negative emotions? Ooh. Now I'm not just doing damage to myself. Who have I hurt because of that? And anyways, he's boiled it down to this. You should be trying to have shitty minutes, not shitty days. You should never have a bad day. You should be working to get your bad, whatever it is, down to a few minutes. Something bad happened, something caused you pain. You do not have to suffer. It doesn't have to have a bad day or a bad week or a bad month or a bad year. I thought that was great. Okay. No scarcity mindset. We should all be thinking about abundance. Money is as abundant as the air we breathe. It was big when they were talking about that. Money is going to flow to the person who's the most positive, who vibrates the highest, who talks to the most people about real estate. And so with that, I am going to stop with that. Way over, of course, the 15 minutes I promised, but these were ahas from EXPCon. There were so many of them. I wanted to share some of them with you. There are going to be more events coming up. There's the shareholder. Actually, there's Gatlinburg in February. Gatlinburg is in Tennessee for a lot of you on the East Coast over here. Easy to get to. It's drivable. It's going to be like a mini EXPCon. We have some of the leaders from the company that are there. And also, it'll be smaller and more intimate, which means it'll cost less. There's more fellowship to it. Not as massive, just thousands and thousands of people, right? There'll be a few hundred. But the learning and the knowledge and the life-changing stuff you'll get will be very similar, right? Because it'll be set up in a similar format. It'll be over a couple of days. We went last year. It was awesome. People that went can tell you, you should come with us. It's very affordable. It's very fun. Might even go out and have some moonshine tasting afterwards, which gets very fun. And coming up, we've got coming up very soon. In fact, Stacey's going to tell me, I think probably my internet connection is unstable, it says. Stacey's probably going to tell me that that is actually going to be in Fort Lauderdale and not in Gatlinburg in February. We'll get it out to you. Sorry, I think I've got them flip-flopped now. I think Gatlinburg's going to be in the fall, and we're going to be in Fort Lauderdale in February. I'll get that to you. The next EXP event, the big one, is shareholders. That'll be coming. They have shareholders every spring, May or June, and then they have EXPCon in the fall, October, November. That's how they do it every year. And why am I telling you that now? Because you're going to have to invest in you. For the next couple of years here, real estate, well, it's going to require this for the rest of your career. But definitely for the next a couple of years, you're going to have to upgrade you if you don't want to be real estate roadkill. And the best way to do it is the events. It allows you to immerse yourself in it. When you watch it from home, the dog's coming up, you got, your phone ringing, which is happening to me right now. You got the dishes that need to be done. You got other stuff happening. People are coming to the door. You don't get immersed in it, and you don't get to change as much as you can when you go away. That's weird. I just turned really red there. So I can't encourage you strong enough to go to the events. There's also like the build event. So on top of the 2 EXP sanctioned ones, then the different leaders within the company run their events. The build event, where Tony Robbins will be in August in Dallas. That's an amazing event. EXP sanctioned event, but it's not the 2 big ones put on by EXP Corporate. They're put on by an agent. His name's Brent Gove. Makes $1 million a month in revenue share. Okay. So it's a big deal. We'd love for you to be a part of it. Come with us. We'll get you the information. Bunk up. Get rooms if you're having a tough time with money. Share the rooms. You're not in the room that much anyways, except maybe just a crash. There's something going on from ding to dong, and you'll have a great time. So thanks for jumping on here with me for this. If you are somebody who is looking at real estate, or if you're a real estate agent and somebody shared this with you, get back to them. We would love to just share with you and show you what eXp Realty is about, and you decide for you if it is right for you and your family. I can tell you, you can't find a better group of people who love on each other, who want to help each other succeed, and who are looking forward to your success. And we're having massive success with our team, and we're super excited about it. So thanks, everyone. Have a great day. I'm going to kill the recording.